Is there any moral equivalence between Israel and Hamas? Check out this clip over here with Andrew Fox, who's a retired British Army officer who gives his perspective to this group on the moral equivalency idea. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
There are quite a few people here in Norway that think that Hamas and the IDF are morally equivalent, that both lie, manipulate, and do everything they can to win the war. What's your best response to such an argument?
There are two things I would draw out, and the first one is 7th of October. Now, there is an infamous 47-minute video that details what went on that day. I'm unfortunate enough to have seen that. I'm also unfortunate to have seen quite a bit more evidence above and beyond that as well, including the evidence of sexual assault. And as always happens when I have to discuss it, the hair on my arms is starting to stand up. It is the single most horrific thing I could ever imagine, never mind actually see. If you really want to know what that includes, come and find me afterwards. But it is beyond bad. I genuinely don't have the words to describe to you how horrific it was what Hamas did on 7th of October. There is nothing the IDF has done in Gaza that comes remotely close to that unspeakable horror on 7th of October. So that's the first thing. And the second point I would answer in reply to that question is I talked extensively about the human sacrifice strategy. That's the difference. Israel is doing everything it can to prevent civilian deaths. Hamas is doing everything it can to guarantee civilian deaths. They're sacrificing their own children for their political ends. There is no moral equivalence whatsoever between Hamas and Israel. Next.
That's absolutely right. There is no moral equivalence that goes on in this war between Israel and Hamas. Israel targets terrorists and hides behind civilians. Hamas targets civilians and hides behind their own. There are not two sides in this war. This is good versus evil. Israel gives warnings before they have airstrikes, and Hamas gives out candy when Jews are murdered. One builds bomb shelters to protect their children. The other builds tunnels to kidnap children. Israel doesn't want to conquer Gaza. Israel just wants to live in peace. Hamas doesn't want a state. It wants Israel destroyed. This isn't a cycle of violence, as it's sometimes called. It's a cycle of terror that's met with self-defense. There is no moral equivalence over here. There's right and there's wrong. And if you can't tell the difference, then you might be part of the problem. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.